It happens. It's the NFL. You're not going to be perfect. If you fumble the ball playing under John Harbaugh, bro, that's the worst thing you can do in John Harbaugh's eyes. Like, think of the worst crime that you could possibly commit. And in John Harbaugh's eyes, they're like neck to neck. All right. They're like side by side, the worst thing you could do in life. But I think it was just one time. And that was more than enough for John Harbaugh to be like, yo, let me tell you something. Come here, come here. You see that doghouse over there? You see that cold bench like behind the stadium, like right next to Ray Lewis's statue? Go sit over there. What is going on, Ravens flock? My name is Drastic, and I want to welcome you guys back to another video on our YouTube channel, Flockin' Ravens. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about the Ravens signing Melvin Gordon. Now, this signing really worries me, all right? Not because it's a bad signing. It's not. I actually came across this news literally like a minute after the Ravens posted this news on their Twitter, because I was just scrolling through Twitter and, you know, I saw it. This popped up. And the moment I saw this, bro, like I had a million questions, which I'm sure many of you guys felt the same way. Like wherever you guys get your news from, whether it's from the Ravens app, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. The moment you get this news that the Ravens have signed just a running back, right? A veteran running back. You get all these questions. You know, one of the first questions that came to mind is, are we parting ways with J.K. Dobbins? Is J.K. Dobbins hurt? Is Gus Edwards hurt? What is going on, right?
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
What do these Ravens know that we don't know?
Earth has been visited by extraterrestrial beings.
I almost did a video that same second that I saw the news. I was like, yo, let me just break this news real quick. But I was like, you know what? This isn't giving enough information. Let me wait for more information to come out, right? And I'm glad I did, because now more information has come out on this topic. Veteran Melvin Gordon is getting up to $3.1 million for 1 year. That's exactly how J.K. Dobbins is feeling the moment he saw the news break of how much this guy is getting for 1 year. Because that's 3 times what J.K. Dobbins is getting. Can you blame him? Could you blame J.K. Dobbins for being like so upset? Anyways, let's go ahead and read what information these Ravens released about 5 minutes ago on their Ravens app. So they said Baltimore placed outside linebacker Tyus Bowser on the non-football injury list. So I'm not too worried about that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not worried about it. That's not really nothing to worry about. And then Baltimore also placed 5 players on the physical unable to perform, which is the PUP list, right? To start camp. Running back J.K. Dobbins. Fullback Patrick Ricard. We already knew that. Cornerback Pepe Williams. Defensive tackle Rashad Nichols. And wide receiver Mike Thomas. J.K. Dobbins on the PUP list is very confusing to me, because Jeff Zebrick actually said that J.K. Dobbins reported to camp today. So it kind of leaves that question, is J.K. Dobbins like hurt for real, or is this just a strategy for him to try to get paid, you know? So, because when you get on a PUP list, like most likely something must truly be wrong, right? And I know it's been a while since he already went through the surgery, rehab, and it's already been like a long gap in between all of that. But did something like reoccur? Did he aggravate something? What's going on? Like, you really have to wonder. But you have to keep in mind, this is all going down while J.K. Dobbins is trying to get his bag, right? So the question about why did the Ravens bring in and sign Melvin Gordon gets answered, right? Because the Ravens released information that they plan on placing J.K. Dobbins under the PUP list, right? So that answers that question, why Melvin Gordon comes in. But it also leaves and brings in brand new questions, right? Because now you have to wonder, is J.K. Dobbins in the PUP list a real thing? Like, you guys know what I mean by that. Is it real, or is he just using this kind of as a way to negotiate his contract, right? And if it's real, how serious are we talking? Like, is it just a couple of days? Is it a couple of weeks? Is it a couple of months? Is it season ending? Which I don't think it's season ending. Otherwise, the Ravens would have just flat out just announced, yo, J.K. Dobbins had this injury and he's out for the season. Or could this have been a move that the Ravens did to avoid a very stressful situation in case J.K. Dobbins decides to hold in, hold out, whatever the case may be? Just because maybe there's the way they're seeing things, maybe the way they see that J.K. Dobbins is moving, they're like, yo, he has this energy about him. He's not the same. He's not participating, this and that. We have a feeling he might hold in, hold out, whatever, right? Could this be a move that the Ravens did kind of like as an insurance, for insurance purpose, right? Not so much for injury, but more so in case there is a hold out, hold in, whatever, right? Could that be it? You see, there's still a lot of questions, even with all the information the Ravens put out for us, right? Because we don't know too much of what's going on with J.K. Dobbins. All we know is he's going to go on the PUP list. That's all we know. The only thing we know for certain is Melvin Gordon was brought in to replace J.K. Dobbins. We don't know for how long. We don't know if it's like for the entirety of the season. We don't know if it's going to be for the first 3-4 weeks. We don't know if it's going to be just for training camp. That's the part that we don't know. But one thing we do know is who he came to the Ravens to replace, J.K. Dobbins. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I like the signing. But I am not starting Melvin Gordon over J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. Anything after those two, fine. Start him, put him on the field. But if you have a healthy J.K. Dobbins or a Gus Edwards, work it out with them. Find a way to make them happy so that they could go out on the field and produce for you guys, right? Because those two are proven running backs. They're proven. You guys could say whatever you guys want about their injuries, whatever, right? But they're not the first, and they're not going to be the last, not even running backs, the last players in the NFL to get injured. It happens, all right? So we know what J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards could do when they're healthy. We know what they could do. So why not work it out with them so that they could get on the field and give us what we need? Now, in the case that you guys are right, that they're injury prone and whatever, that's what we signed them for. So we already signed him. He's already on the team. So in case one of those two goes down week 5, 6, 8, 9, whatever, you have him there. And like I said, if they're not available, fine, start Melvin Gordon. But if they're available, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to take it a step further because Melvin Gordon hasn't even played a single snap under the Ravens. And this guy is already in the doghouse. He's in the doghouse. Not one snap in a Ravens jersey, and he's already in the doghouse. That's a fact. Because this guy is a fumbling machine. He fumbles like crazy. Now, every player, I think, fumbles once in their career. All right? Every running back, wide receiver, QB, tight end, whatever, right? It happens. It's the NFL. You're not going to be perfect. If you fumble the ball playing under John Harbaugh, bro, that's the worst thing you can do in John Harbaugh's eyes. Like, think of the worst crime that you could possibly commit. And in John Harbaugh's eyes, they're like neck to neck, all right? They're like side by side, the worst thing you could do in life. You don't believe me? There is plenty of players who can attest to this. Plenty. I could name many, but I'm not going to. I'm only going to name one, all right? Because there's only one player that matters in this situation, all right? Specifically in this situation. Have you guys ever heard of a player named Tyler Beatty or Batty? Beatty or Batty? I don't know. I don't know which one, how to pronounce his name properly, but it's one of those two. Have you guys ever heard of this player named Tyler Beatty? Have you guys heard of him? In case you haven't, he used to play for the Baltimore Ravens. He was drafted like a late rounder. I think he was like a 7th round or something like that. I can't remember. But he was a pretty decent running back, all right? He was a decent running back. And there was a situation with Beatty where he actually, I think he fumbled maybe once or twice. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it was just one time. And that was more than enough for John Harbaugh to be like, yo, let me tell you something. Come here, come here. You see that doghouse over there? You see that cold bench like behind the stadium, like right next to Ray Lewis's statue? Go sit over there. Go sit over there. That's exactly what he told this young man to do. Like, bro, I don't want to see you on my field again. And we never saw him again. Never saw him again. I don't blame Tyler Beatty for what he did next, because after a couple of weeks of him just sitting on the bench, he went up to the front office and pretty much asked them, like, can you guys cut me or release me? I don't know what move he was asking them to do, but they pretty much just like released him. And the Broncos ended up picking him up, right? And once the Broncos picked him up, his very first game with the Broncos, he caught a pass from Russell Wilson and took it all the way to the house. In that game, this guy showed the whole NFL the importance of giving a player a second chance. Like, you got to give your players a second chance. Your players, like, no one's perfect. No player is perfect. They're not robots. They're gonna make mistakes. And as a coach, you can't put them in the doghouse because they made one mistake. You got to give them 1, 2, maybe even 3 chances, bro. You can't just like getting your feelings and get so prideful and be like, I run things here, doghouse. You can't do that, because not every player is great from the very first season that they play in the NFL. Like Lamar Jackson and myself, like not everybody is built that way. Some people, you won't see their greatness until like year 2, 3, or 4. Not everybody is going to show their greatness just on year 1. There's very few of us. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Ravens are going to decide to do with Melvin Gordon if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards both become available during the season. Like, what role is Melvin Gordon going to play? Is he going to be running back 1, running back 2, running back 3, 4? Like, where does he fit in this whole system? I honestly hope that Todd Monken gets used to only using 2 running backs for every single game, because I'm one of those fans that hates when the Ravens like rotate the whole depth chart of the running backs. Like, I hate to see that. I hate it with a passion. I hate it. I hate it. So I hope that we get to see J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards eat like back to back to back to back. Hopefully we could only stick to one, and every now and then whenever JK or Gus Edwards needs a break, the other one could go in and fill in for them, right? But I hope that Melvin Gordon is just there for insurance purposes. That's it. In case one of them happens to go down, boom, he takes over that role, right? But I hope he's not going to take over from the very beginning, the running back 1, running back 2. I hope not. I hope that's not the case, but we'll have to see once the season starts, right? Another thing I wanted to ask you guys is, with the Ravens signing Melvin Gordon to up to 3.1 mil for 1 year, does that affect J.K. Dobbins' money? Because as you guys know, J.K. Dobbins is currently negotiating a contract with the Ravens, right? He's trying to get paid. And he hasn't agreed to a number. I mean, he hasn't agreed to a contract because obviously they haven't come up with the right number, right? So whatever the Ravens is offering J.K. Dobbins, he obviously most likely wants more, right? Now with the Ravens signing Melvin Gordon, is that going to take a chunk out of J.K. Dobbins' potential money? Or do you think it doesn't affect it at all? I feel like this is only going to make it that much harder for J.K. Dobbins to come to an agreement with the Ravens like this season, right? Maybe we could get something done like next season, but I feel like if y'all weren't able to come to some sort of agreement now with this signing, I know it's not much because it's not all fully guaranteed. I know there's probably going to be a lot of incentives and whatever, but I still feel like it does eat up into some of the money that could have possibly gone to J.K. Dobbins, right? So I feel like it just got that much harder for them to come to an agreement on a number. Because now the Ravens are going to be like, yo, we had this much to offer you, but now after signing this guy, we only have this much. And I feel like JK is going to be like, try again. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. My name is Drastic. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about the signing of Melvin Gordon to the Ravens. Let me know if you guys like it or not. Let me know if you guys are worried about the whole fumble issue with Melvin Gordon, because I honestly feel like he's going to fumble sometime during this season. Hopefully, it's not at the worst moments. Hopefully, it's something that doesn't really matter too much. Hopefully, it's when we're like leading by, I don't know, 10, 20 points, right? Let me know how you guys think this will affect J.K. Dobbins' money, if it's going to even affect it at all, because you guys might think it won't affect it, right? So let me know what you guys think about this whole signing down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Also, make sure to share this channel with any friends or family or just anybody you may know that's a Ravens fan that wants to get connected with the flock. Let them know what's the channel to come to. And with that, I'm going to see you on the next one.